Elon Musk joining President Trump in the Oval Office, where they defended their efforts to enact sweeping changes to the federal government and limit spending.
Our chief White House correspondent, James Rosen, joins us live now from our Washington newsroom with more. James, good morning.
Emma and John, good morning to you. Since Election Day, as his power to slash the federal government, to infiltrate and shut down whole agencies grew and took shape, Elon Musk had not faced reporters' questions. All that changed yesterday in this remarkable scene in the Oval Office, where Musk and his 4-year-old son, X, held court for the better part of an hour. President Trump mostly sitting silent, a bystander who seemed occasionally to take delight in the boy's presence. Without offering details, Musk claimed to have found billions in waste, fraud, and abuse, and rejected claims he has operated behind a wall of secrecy.
What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization.
With virtually every major Trump administration initiative wrapped up in litigation, some of them halted during pending court proceedings, President Trump sought to dispel suggestions that he might not heed their decisions.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply with that?
Well, I always abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum, and it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. If you go into a judge and you show him, here's a corrupt situation, we have a check to be sent, but we found it to be corrupt. Do you want us to send this corrupt check to a person, or do you want us not to give it and give it back to the taxpayer? I would hope a judge would say, don't send it, give it back to the taxpayer.
Then, shortly before 10:30 Eastern Time last night, Pennsylvania history teacher Mark Fogel arrived at the White House, freed earlier in the day after a diplomatic mission by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff from 3.5 years of imprisonment in Russia. There, Fogel had been convicted of bringing medical marijuana into the country. After a welcome from the president on the snowy South Lawn and an introduction to the Speaker of the House, the freed captive appeared alongside President Trump in the White House diplomatic room.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now. And I want you to know that I am not a hero in this at all. And President Trump is a hero. These men that came from the diplomatic service are heroes. The senators and representatives that passed legislation in my honor to get me home are the heroes.
When the White House first broke the news that Witkoff had secured Fogel's release, the statement said it was part of a quote-unquote exchange with the Russians. In his comments last night, President Trump would only say that the trade was, quote, reasonable. And that put a cap on a singular day in the annals of this presidency or any presidency.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.